Hello, everyone, and welcome to day two of this month's FSL Valorant Open. It's the playoffs, Key. I mean, we had crazy games yesterday,
Yep.
but I think there were a pretty big number of signups. But you know what? Only eight teams remain, and we're gonna be watching them pretty darn soon. So how you feeling about that, dude?
I'm excited. So yesterday we saw a lot of close games and a lot of one-sided matches as well. So we could see kind of how polarizing the teams can be. But I think that of course now that we're in day number two, this is the playoffs. We have the top two from each group, and because of that, I think the matches will be much closer than they were yesterday. So there are 8 teams left, as you mentioned. It will still be a double elimination bracket. So any team that that loses this first match will drop to the lower bracket. So the 8 teams we have are Alter Ego Celeste, Glitch Pop Cult, The Impaler, Kid My Orc, Magnifique, SXG, Oasis Gaming, and Galaxy Racer. And
That's
the
awesome.
8 teams, what do you feel? We're going to be spectating Oasis Gaming versus Galaxy Racer, so that's going to be exciting. How do you feel about the teams?
I mean, I'm pretty sure some of them are quite familiar to the both of us, but it's really lovely to see. I mean, we've got a nice mix of, there are some local, Singaporean slash Malaysian flavors in there. You got the Filipinos who have been really, really good, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for us because that's one of the games that we're going to be casting. And you also got the Thais, and they are insanely strong as well. They were pretty much in running for second place. But of course, the giant that has yet to take a fall are Alto Eager Celeste. And that in and of itself is going to be a very strong team. I think they're making some kinds of changes in terms of agent composition, the
Nice.
Masters effect. But yeah, we're going to have to wait before we get to those games. For the first one, it's going to be Oasis Gaming versus Galaxy Racer. And,
Yeah.
it's my favorite thing. You said this yesterday. Every team has their own flavor.
Yeah.
So what do you think these two teams' flavors are?
Between Oasis Gaming and Galaxy Racer, I think this is probably going to still follow the VCT PH meta closely. I think they're still going to go with the standard. I'm not sure if they're going to be incorporating the Masters meta yet, and we'll have to see. I mean, they could surprise us, right? Maybe the VCT
They really
PH meta
could.
has already evolved. And now we want to go through the format as well, because
Ah,
just to a recap for everyone, how Valorant Open works. This is Valorant Open 3. We have 6 Valorant Opens, one per month. This month was a bit delayed because of the situation, but Open 3 is the one that currently happening. So after this, there will be 3 more Opens. So it's a full circuit, and six various months. Each month is independent of each other, but the teams can accumulate points here. Each month is $1,000 prize pool, and this is the current standing of the points. So if you're first for a specific open, you get 10. Second is get 9 points. Third is 8 points, and then it goes down all the way to 1 point if you're eliminated like in groups. So when you accumulate points, you basically get on the leaderboard, which we will be showing in the screen right now. And Mad Army was actually in the second place. Just as a reminder to everyone, Mad Army has actually disbanded, and their members have actually moved to the various other teams in FSL. So 3 out of the 4 members are actually in Oasis Gaming, and one of them was in Arakat Aresta. And so basically, Oasis Gaming is the same core as the Meta Army, but because of the roster rules, unfortunately, they don't get to keep their points. So they're gonna have to earn their points back
ooh,
to rank up. So Alter Ego Celeste are going to be the runaway number 1 at 20 points. Number 2 is now RTZ on the rank female with 13 points. Of
I
course,
see.
that will be shifting around. We still have 4 more opens. There's only been 2 opens. These current standings are only indicative of 1/3 of the amount of points that are in the circuit. And of
That's
course, they will
absolutely
be
right.
playing for the FSL Elite, which will be hopefully happening in October this year. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's gonna be the exciting part. Kentrel, maybe we'll see each other in the LAN. Um,
ooh,
FSL Elite will be a $5,000 prize pool. Only 4 teams will qualify, and it's gonna be in October. Slated. They're looking to fly the teams down. bearing whatever situation it is. But hopefully, we can fly the teams down. Hopefully, I want to see a LAN happen. I want to see them play without any ping disadvantage, any ping differences. I want them to all play with that 5 ping and see what they can bring to the table. And first and second place from the circuit advances straight to elite. No more, no extra games, no anything. And then the third slot will be for FSL Open Overtime, and it's called Overtime because they have to play another playoffs to basically reach third place, the third slot. And the last slot will be in the wild card. So for those teams that don't make it in the overtime, they can still play in a wild card, and that will comprises of the 4 teams. And that is the circuit.
Oh, that's that really is the entire FSL Valorant circuit, pretty much in a nutshell. That's what these teams are playing for. And I mean, just taking a look at, I remember what I saw from the standings. Alter Ego Celeste, yeah, they are incredibly strong. They've gone basically undefeated. They got first place twice, so that's why they've got 20 points. If they do it again, they're going to be at 30, which is it's going to be a little bit difficult for the other teams to beat that. But if we actually take a look and we remember, Kid My Orc is currently standing at 8 points, meaning. If they actually come up first place this time around, who knows? It could be a big upset. What if they did their homework, they practiced a lot, and all of a sudden they are insanely strong and they beat Alter Ego Celeste? Then they take 10 points. They would be at 18, which is where Mad Army previously was. So anything could happen, honestly. This could be pretty huge. But anyway, we're going to jump into the game pretty soon. Right now, it's going to be Galaxy Racer versus Oasis Gaming. The map is going to be Haven. Haven't seen Ascent or Bind yet, dude.
Yeah, it's still not Ascent or Bind. I'd just like to shout out our sponsors as well. So, of course, the Valorant Open is sponsored by Intel and Yahoo. This whole circuit would not have happened without their support. So, we have 9 out of 10 Pride banners. Anko is using the duality one. I don't blame her because it's actually a really cool banner. So these are all don't forget, these are all the banners that you have to claim. You can claim them for free at redeem.playvalorant.com. You're gonna have to look at the Play Valorant Twitter for the codes, but there's quite a few banners that you can claim, and you can claim all of them. And again, thanks to our sponsors Intel and Yahoo. They've been really great in making this tournament happen. We can watch these amazing games because of them. Galaxy Racers versus Oasis Gaming now. For our first game of the day, it's a Philippine versus Philippine team. So it's going to be pretty much a team kill here in terms of... a
little bit. If I'm not wrong, there are a couple of Thai players under Oasis Gaming. Oh. But... I mean, yeah, there's a bit of a mix. It's FSL, so everyone's all welcome to join and play. But yeah, I mean, just going through the prize distribution for a second, it is $1,000 prize pool, but of course, these are also partially provided by sponsors. First place would be 500, second place 300, third place 150, and finally $50 for fourth. So that's what these teams want to get. Of course, it is double elimination, so even if they lose this one game, it's not the worst thing, but you want the best chances that you can possibly get. And right now, it's going to be Oasis Gaming. I love that they have an Astra trying to keep things interesting, but GXR, aggressive push down Z long. And I don't know if Oasis are aware of this. Well, now they certainly are.
They're not sure if they actually have 2 there, though. Ivory is going to get the trades. So I think as a defender, you're pretty okay with that. So you really want to get those trades as a defender, and you get a lot of information here. Like, information is very important on the defender side because you can easily consolidate your defenses. And as for agent lineups, like you mentioned, Astra is going to be the exciting one. Although, again, we're not seeing the Sky here. So the Master Meta is really not affected by Ivory with a headshot, making it 2 versus 3 now for Galaxy Racers.
2 versus 3, and Stan is low, but she is still alive, which means 3 guns versus 2 Galaxy Racer. Unless they even up the odds a little bit, it's still going to be a pretty tough fight. And here we go. Stan is looking to prep up. the recon bolt to give information for her team. They get tagged, and of course Aya will be the first to fall. It's all up to Trix now in this 1v3. If anyone do, she can. She's gonna find the first headshot, come back around to take Stan out of the equation, and all that's left is this 1v1. The Jet all the way down C long. It's Muffin versus Trix, and Trix has no choice but to kind of stick it.
No.
Muffin even has a sheriff, and she goes in for the headshot. 1-0 to start things out. Oh my god.
Well,
That's... How often do you see a
interesting.
sheriff on the first round?
It's really rare. Like I do it because like I just wanna practice my headshots. I actually don't particularly think it's good, and the reason why is because I'm on Jet. You can actually get a ghost plus smokes, right? Like what you see right now. You see 2 smokes plus 1 updraft, or 3 smokes. Typically that's very good for a Jet because it can get you into the sites. But I think what they wanted, they really planned for a C take this time around, which is why they actually picked the sheriff. Like you can tell that the plan was meant to be like that, and they wanted to play the long angle, and the sheriff actually really helps with that long angle.
Very true. Ghosts work long range as well, but sheriff is just a little bit better. And here we go, Muffin looking for those insane flicks again, but looking at how the team have positioned themselves so far.
Here.
Astra outside of Barn, and wow, here we go. It's the Nebulas all over the A site. Potentially selling a fake even because they're not really committing yet. But I do see the shot being picked up, and here we go. Entry already being opened up by Muffin with the sheriff, and they definitely hear the updraft. But guess what? Aluka has a sheriff as well, and she knows where Muffin is. But ooh, that's a flick and a half. Headshot through the face. Muffin's gone. We're back into a 3v3, and GXR stand a much better chance.
Yeah, Baby Alaka with that flick, and it was a really good flick. The Reyna was actually half in motion there, and Baby Alaka already with 3 kills has to play this 1v2, and if she does this, she's gonna get a clutch ace, but she gets taken down by Baby TZ through the boxes. Didn't make it in time for the cover. They're both low too. So I think that was a very good chance, but Baby TZ punishes the emptying of the Spectre there. Like she just emptied the clip, and I think Baby TZ was very smart in recognizing that, and just finishes her off to secure round number 2. I mean, it is the round that you're supposed to win, except those sheriff shots though. Those were insane. So it got a bit dicey for them, but securing round number 2 is important. But round number 3, this is where we have to see if they can actually keep their advantage up. For GXR, this is their buy round, and this is their round to win.
That's right. There is a chance that they can, though. I mean, considering the fact that Muffin did not buy up, she held onto a sheriff from the first round. I see that she has a Vandal coming into this 3rd round. So
take flight.
Still, they have the firepower. Both drones gonna fly past each other towards Garage, and of course, Hunter's Fury in, and they take Nikasi down with the Hunter's Fury. So immediately, this is a little bit of Garage control, but Trix just swings it back into her team. That's 1 pick gone. We equalize the board again with a 4 and 4, and Oasis has options. They can still go towards C, maybe make it a split push. The Astra is in over by the bottom of Garage, so maybe a little bit of a lurk. She could jump up and take Trix down.
Trix kind of knows that someone's here, or not.
Oh, she does.
Oh!
Okay.
No, but that was great movement, by the way. Like she immediately get herself, and that's a 3rd kill by Trix. Baby Alaka gets a kill with the boombot as well, and Stan is kind of stuck here. And Trix will take a 4 kill here. Trix really showing us, well, tricks up her sleeve here. And getting a 4K, securing this round for a team, I think that's really amazing. This great team play by them as well. She let go of the site only to still pick off their members 1 by 1. So that's really great discipline play by Trix as well. Even especially after getting the first kill, you kind of feel confident. Maybe you can hold the site, but instead she chooses to pull the rug from under them and go around instead, getting those kills, and with great movement. That's an example of great movement, right? Like you cover that corner. And I think that I want to talk about the Sova ultimate as well. The Owl drone. I don't think they expected the ultimate from Oasis's Sova yet, because it was round number 3. Like, how often do you get a round 3 ult? And a Sova ult needs 7 charges. So I don't think they probably missed out that, okay, Sova actually has ult. Because when you see 2 drones passing by and you're Sova and you see their drone and you're like, oh shit, I gotta run. Yeah. And she got tagged instead, and she was still stuck in the drone animation, taking the hand down. That's why she got hit with the first one, which easily allowed the Sova to hit a second one on her.
That's right. And of course, Hunter's Fury, you get the kill, you open things up, and that's why they headed in towards the seaside. But I think MVP of that round definitely went towards Trix, because she was the one who kind of turned things around. Might have actually almost died because she didn't really spot out the lash. Yeah, at first. But then she, with the movement, a little bit of a flick, she gets the shot instead. But back in towards this round, and it's a lot of mid control for Oasis Gaming. They have consumed quite a bit of space.
30 seconds left.
I think Galaxy Racer are playing quite defensively.
Yeah, they're taking their time here because I think they want to play safe here. They know that Galaxy Racer probably won't be fully flying up. And okay, Baby Alaka gets go onto Muffin, gets Anko as well. So the spike is actually going to A site. So even though they actually take Arena off as well, so they're gonna get the spike plan down, and it's not gonna look very good for Galaxy Racer because Oasis Gaming have control of the site. They only have pistols, but here's the lockdown coming in as well.
Remaining.
So Baby Alaka and Ivory coming in and cleaning things up.
Wow.
So the lockdown really securing this round. I think that they made it expensive. So
yes.
Oasis Gaming, they made this round very expensive for Galaxy Racer, even though it was an eco for them. They got the spike down, they got one off, they got the Killjoy lockdown committed. So I think that was relatively expensive for them for almost a full save.
That's right. I mean, if you think about the ultimate orb economy, not just money aside, I mean, definitely, I think one of their main goals was to get the spike planted, and that's, even with pistols, they weren't really going in for kills. If they could get them, then sure, that's just a nice bonus. But the main objective is to get the spike down so that they get that nice little economy boost. But at the same time, you get an ultimate point or orb for planting the spike, and that's why we see maybe Aluka pretty much close to getting the full 7 on her Killjoy lockdown. At the same time, they made Galaxy Racer spend their lockdown, which is pretty big. So coming into this round, you have to consider these things into fact. It's the long game, and right now, positions-wise, Galaxy Racer are doing what we saw in round 1. They're pushing up C long. Meanwhile, Oasis have been playing this mid/A long, A short control kind of game. They don't know that Aya's behind them.
Yeah, Galaxy Racer have been pushing since round number 1. By the way, they've been slowly pushing to get some territory, but the Phantom 140 in 1. I don't think she realized that she got shot from the back.
Strike down A.
That's a little bit odd, but still, she is super low, and Sen is the only one who can kind of
Last
back
player
her up
standing.
in this carried firefight. They're gonna swing out and immediately get shut down. So, yeah, you can kind of see that Galaxy Racer are trying to get a good read. They go for information plays, pushing out of C like that, and it's smart. This is how you would want to play Haven, right? There's a lot of, we talked about territorial control yesterday, and Haven is kind of sure the corridors can be kind of narrow and small, but it's a wide map. There are 3 spike sites, so there's a lot of room to work with.
There's 5 entrances basically. Each site sort of has 2 entrances, 2 on C, 2 on A, and B kind of has like a middle and 2 kind of like side entrances. So there's 5 places where the attackers can choose to like go in from, and for the defenders, that basically spreads you thin. You have 1 on each opening, and that Aya is at the bottom of the scoreboard right now with 0 kills. But the intangible that she brings to the team is all of information, and this information allows Galaxy Racer to secure the rounds. And Baby Alaka is popping off with tricks as well. Both of them are getting all these frags left and right because of the information that Aya brings. But Baby TZ is going to punish Baby Alaka. Anko with the Spectre as well kills Tricks, and the 2 top fraggers for Galaxy Racer are down right now.
Wow.
Okay, here we go. Aya, this is Aya's time to shine. Kills for it now.
Last player standing.
She's starting to go in, the win comes out, and Muffin just goes right into her face, point blank, shuts her down, and we're back with a 1v2. Make that a 1v1 as Muffin finds another head. Makasi versus Muffin. Muffin is really low, 1 bullet and she's dead. So Makasi's looking for her. Of course, he's going to pick that up. And of course, along with it, the spike defuse a little bit hairy, but they make it work. And I think it's partially due, in fact, yes, Aya. I mean, she secured the kill from the flank, which was on C. And of course, just information for her team. She might have fallen to Muffin, but it kind of lured her into this position where the Galaxy Racer players would know where she was, and they would have an easier time at shutting her down.
Yeah, and again, this time GXR had other members step up to the plate here, with Trix and Baby Aluka falling at the beginning. The other players were actually stepping up and cleaned up around there. And between Trix and Baby Aluka, they're really doing so much for this. Trix with the Killjoy, of course, anchoring the sites, now has an operator. Gets spotted by the dart though. That dart is annoying. Gets spotted twice. So she does have the operator. They should know that. They should see the silhouette with the barrel, and Muffin punishes Trix, who was a bit greedy to kind of swing out and peek like that after getting detected twice. So that's the beauty of Sova and his initiating powers. The detection actually forces someone off of an angle, because you don't really want to be staying in an angle. And that basically forced Trix out of the angle that she wanted to go, and allowing Muffin to get a kill. But GXR are picking up the kills left and right. It's now 3-2.
Yeah, I pushed out of Garage and picked up a big double kill. And of course, Oasis Gaming weren't quite expecting that. So far, Oasis Gaming with their pushes, they have been kind of linear. They just go in for one side head on, and right now, Baby Aluka hears all of those footsteps. It's an easy lineup for her. 2 headshots back to back, and of course, along with it, she gets the win for her team. 5-2 now, Galaxy Racer versus Oasis. Oasis, they've been heading towards the site just with a kind of, maybe sometimes it's a 2-pronged attack, maybe a bit of a split. Sometimes they rotate around back and forth, but generally the players are huddled together. You know, they're back to back, going in together as a team, but no one's always, not necessarily watching the flank, which Galaxy Racer knows to exploit this. That's why we have players like Aya pushing in towards grass, pushing, you know, down C long, and it's just something that Oasis has not quite expected. And here we go again. Mikasi a little bit caught off guard, and they're just going in with a big rush in towards the A site now. Not watching the back, and of course Ivory will be able to find one. Now they're aware of her position, but it lures them in, and Stan looks for the Aluka, I think. Muffin's the last one left alive. She shakes her mouse, being like, no, I don't want to be in this position.
No more Blade Storm.
No Blade Storm, only a classic. Very, very difficult, and wow. Trix just playing off of her turret's contact with a swing. 6-2.
Yeah, they realized the biggest enemy of the Blade Storm is, and I felt that in some games I played Jet, robots.
Some games.
Like, robots are your biggest enemy. The boom bot, the alarm bot, the nanoswarms, the turret. Because when you have your blades out, you don't want to be committing your blades to those bots, so you kind of switch to a classic, and then that leaves you vulnerable.
Right. That is... Well, I actually never... Yeah, so I don't play Jet. You're kind of a Jet main. But that is true. You don't want to waste your blades on these small utility gadgets and whatnot, but regardless, it's Oasis with the entry this time around on towards C. Bomb has not been committed, but they're still pushing in anyway, and Muffin with the operator, she's looking for shots, at the very least making her presence very, very known. The rest of the team now trying to make some headway into other sites. Spike actually heading towards A, and I think the Killjoy is calling it clear. So this is a pretty good play. Kind of a bait and switch to make it think it was C, but then they went all the way down to A.
I think you know that behind them is open, but whether how open, they're not sure. Right? I think Killjoy should have made a bit of noise on A there, and I think this recon is okay. This recon was just a spot of backstab, but Baby TZ, they know where she is now. They're gonna have to take her out first before committing to the side. But Stan and Baby TZ with a crossfire is actually gonna take this 2v3. And that aggressive positioning by Baby TZ is really where it's at, right? Like she pushed all the way there, and you kind of think it's clear because your Omen is watching the lane, the link between B and A, but someone's actually already passed that link.
That's
and
right.
Baby TZ with that, it's reminiscent a little bit of who was it yesterday on the Cypher?
Placing swarm grenade.
I think it was
Placing alarm bot.
Myth?
Yes, it was Myth.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing on Haven where she's just in the side already, and they're both Sentinels, by the way. So Sentinels, typically you're looking for a backstab, but if no one's backstabbing, you turn into a lurker. You turn into a
That's right.
silent side clearer. And because no one wants to push the lane that you're kind of like defending, the chances of lurking into a free site is pretty much better. Like, you know that the killer's heart is there, so you're not gonna push, right? So instead you push instead. And Baby TZ takes out Ivory. And Kendrell, take us through what's going on here right now.
I mean, I think they kind of thought that they might be able to take the Sova down because the Hunter's Fury was committed in towards it, but Makasi hiding in the corner was something that Oasis expected, and of course now Aya trying to pull off a flank yet again, not expecting the second player, will get shut down. It's back into a 3v4, and attacker Kilgore lockdown has been deployed, which means Makasi needs to make a move. She swings out, she's gonna get shut down. We're back in with a 2v4. Spike will be planted. This is not an easy retake for
Spike
GXR.
planted.
Well, if there's anyone to retake this, it's Baby Alka and Trix. So it is still 2v4, and it's the difficult side to retake. Trix with an operator as well, not the best weapon to retake A with. She does have the lockdown as well, so let's see if they want to commit that.
Lockdown, operator. Aluka does not have the best utility belt anymore, but well, the headshots will ring true anyway. They find one, but I think they're deciding to go with a save. It is round number 10 after all, so we're nearing the end of the first half. I'm not sure how they're doing on the economy side of things, but at the very least, they'll be able to hold on to their weapons to bring them forward into the next round. Yeah, not too bad. I think their teammates can buy it back up. Or
Yeah, they can. Mikasi is gonna get 2.4k from that, so she's gonna have 4k. If she has to buy an owl drone, then Baby Alka will probably have to buy her the rifle instead. And she
yeah, it
does.
seems like that's what they'll
Can I
do.
get a drop? Thanks.
Okay, not the worst thing. But it is a 6-4, and you want as many rounds as possible. But so far, Oasis Gaming have been adapting to this. Maybe not so much watching their flank. I mean, they're still getting shut down by Aya, but this time they're not that hell-bent on pushing in towards sides anymore. And we're starting to see a little bit of a, I even want to say a default on the side of Oasis. All right, let's take a look at how spread out across the map they are right now.
It seems like they want to go for a C execution set. They actually switched Tricks to the A side with that operator, but Oasis Gaming, I have a read on that. They chose C instead, so I don't know if it's 100% read, but they have avoided the operator. And like we mentioned yesterday, the first kill for the operator is where it's at, right? So Trix is assuming a more defensive position now, and Oasis actually get discouraged from getting into C because of that raise grenade. So that's the power of utility right there.
Yeah, deters the aggression, and now they have no choice but to go back towards another site. Of course, A is not something that they really want to go towards,
Good.
considering that there is an operator up on the site itself, but Baby TZ will find a headshot onto
Placing
Makasi,
swarm grenade.
possibly opening things up on towards B, but a lot of moving parts on the map right now. Galaxy Racer, and this is what I love about them, they don't like to sit around and
30
then play
seconds left.
extremely stationary. In fact, they're going in for flanks again, and here we go. Aya is able to pick up one. She's going to look for the second. I'm pretty sure she knows where Anko is, but Anko is just one step ahead. She's a little bit more prepared, and here we
Is
go.
Trix ready for
They've
this?
rotated. Yeah,
Initiated.
she picked up one, but of course
Player standing.
she doesn't know that Anko is behind.
Spike
Now
planted.
it's going to be Ivory in this 1v2. I think she could do it. There is a lockdown in place.
Yeah, I think if she can get to the spike in time, she's probably gonna get the defuse here. One player got detained as well, so it's gonna be
Uh-oh.
really. I think she could just stick this.
Do they not hear it?
No, they did, but there's just no time because Astra had to run all the way to A lobby, and there was just not enough
Last
time.
round in
The
half.
timing for Ivory was great. I think that Trix was expecting Ivory to be able to catch Anko before Anko had the angle. That's why she jumped. She immediately jumped away from the angle and died, like, I think midair, trying to jump away from the angle that she could be picked off from B. but the lockdown was good enough because after Ankle killed after Ankle kills Tricks, she doesn't get the lockdown because Ivory just trades that right away. And I think that they had the cognition to actually just run for the spike. Like she just ran all the way to the spike, took the defuse as the lockdown was still ticking down, which just bought her enough time to defuse the spike.
And that, I guess, was kind of the objective of that play, was to ensure that the lockdown was protected so that Anko would not be able to shoot it down. But here we go. It's going to be the last round of the first half, and Aya already pushing up, getting shut down. Aluka goes back in for kind of the trade. A little bit of a, I guess, hesitation. She lurked around mid for a second, but the Oasis Gaming members are aware of this, and they're coming in towards the B site right now, along with the Nebula stars from Astra. Muffin, with the blades, is able to find a head, picks up, switches back to the operator, and now it's back to a 2v4 scenario. GXR, how do they retake this?
Spike
The
planted.
exact same two players from the last round. But they had a pretty good chance, but Muffin gets the kill on the Tricks with the operator. So Ivory has to play this 1v4. She's relatively healthy, but Lax is there. But that was fast. That was a flick.
Yeah,
Switching
dude,
sides.
human reactions.
He saw
I think she
the
spotted
gun
the
barrel.
barrel.
Yeah, exactly. And she flicked towards the head. So that's the beauty of the smokes, right? As a defensive tool. Ivory wasn't even in the smoke yet. Her head wasn't in the smoke, so she wasn't seeing anyone yet. But Lax was already waiting inside the smoke, so she sees the barrel and quickly shoots ahead.
That's a quick dismissal. But, I mean, at the end of the first half, you're with a 7 and 5. I think this is pretty comfortable for both sides. And Oasis Gaming, with their current setup, having an Astra, having a Killjoy, they might actually prefer playing defense.
That might be true, but again, this is an attacker-sided map, and we've seen how aggressive Galaxy Racer can be. Even on the defensive side, they always pushed up, took some territory, and let's see if Oasis is an answer for that. Because if they play too defensively here, I think Galaxy Racer are actually going to run away with the game because they can control a lot of areas and create.
That's right.
This is standard for pistol rounds, right? You kind of like sacrifice B and go for the retake. So that's what Oasis game going for. Galaxy Racer are doing this and want to challenge this retake.
They're going in for the plant. It's going to be a full 5v4 retake now that Aluka is able to find one scalp. Muffin dashing in was just a little bit too
One enemy remaining.
aggressive for my taste, but here we go. It's all up to Stan again in this 1v4 on the pistol round. Not able to find anything. And of course, Galaxy Racer picks up the win. You know, we say this a lot about how, yeah, you might want to give up B on the pistol round because it's one of those sites that can be easy to push into. There's one big entrance, but it's not that easy to defend because you have to worry about A and C link, which are on far opposite sides. Still though, if Oasis Gaming are to rush in one by one, that just makes it easier for GXR to defend against.
Yeah, I think the idea was to stop the plant. That's at least what I kind of am guessing, because the plant actually was cancelled at the beginning. I think they wanted to bait the rest of Oasis game to come in. They wanted to bait exactly that dash in because you don't want a 5v5, and I think Oasis Gaming wanted to stop that by getting a quick pick off. That's why Muffin actually dashed in. And this is starting to look like a better round for them. They actually get an early pickoff, although they are in pistol, so they are at a big disadvantage when it comes to firepower.
Yeah, but at the very least, make it expensive, and if they can pick up a weapon, that's just even better. But now Muffin, see, this is what I mean. She's not very careful or tactical about how she approaches things. You assume that garage is clear and you jump down, and of course you're going to get punished for it. But still, teammates are able to find a couple more frags. Let's turn it back into a 2v2. And of course, along with it, we have a Sheriff and right now I think a Spectre
Last
on
player
the
standing.
Reyna player. That's going to be a smart shock dart bounce from Akasi. Hightail it all the
30
way to the A
seconds
site,
left.
get the spike down. Let's see if the Reyna can pull off this 1v2.
Spike planted.
That was some geometry class mastery right there. Great bounce by Mikasi. And almost caught Trix there on the exit.
This is not impossible. She was overhealed. Well, not anymore, but she has the firepower. There we go. That's one. Overheal comes in, expects Trix to come out from the other side, but Trix is just a little bit smarter. Comes up with the angle that she does not expect and sprays her all over the face. 9-5 is the score, and this is the bonus round for Galaxy Racer. What do you think?
I think Galaxy Rays are just too strong right now. Ivory, actually, I didn't think that it was a quiet 17 kills for her. Like, it's not flashy. But Ivory is 17 on the board. I think the nearest one to her is 13. So she's 15. Okay, 15 with Baby Alaka. So she has been getting those kills off her. Baby Alaka has 6 assists, by the way. Just want to point it out. Even though she has slightly less kills, she actually has 6 assists. And Muffin's gonna get tagged up there. You don't want this. This is a pretty bad start for Oasis because one of your players already is just close to
Yeah, 4
gone.
HP. Well, it does seem like 1 or 2 of the Galaxy Racer players are kind of going with a half buy. I mean, it's a Sheriff alone. Aluka still with the paint shells at the very least. This is kind of, she wanted to clear it out, but did not expect Stan to be hiding over in the corner where she was not tagged up by the paint shells at all. And Muffin, despite being on 4 health, actually takes Trix down all the way from C into C long. Still, we're back in it with a 3v5, or 3v4. We've had a 3v3, and now all of a sudden it's a 2v3. All the numbers are going all over the place. And it's the trades from Oasis Gaming. So now they're just pushing in towards A
30
site.
seconds
Not
left.
much information, but they're committing into it anyway. Baby DZ with the Phantom.
enemy remaining.
This is going to be an easy pickup for them.
Spike down A.
Yep, you called it like a few seconds before it happened, but those traps combined with the angle that she was holding, great hold by Oasis Gaming there.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she heard the footsteps, but that's the thing. She had all that utility on the site itself, and I don't think that was something that GXR were aware of. They just kind of went in with the, I guess, a half buy and tried to find whatever they could, but once things started to go south, they decided, let's just run in towards A anyway. And the thing is, they didn't have information, so committing into a site full force like that, you kind of leave yourself a little bit open. You're trudging into the unknown, and it's not something that I like. But right now, in towards the B site they go. Seems to be a full 4-5 woman rush.
They want to take this B again, the 5v5 on B, and one staying back. So Trix is staying back to watch the flank, just to make sure that no one gets this flank. It's a 1-for-1 right now, and B side spike is not down yet. It actually fell, and Trix is gonna take Muffin. So that's her job. Like, she's the turret in the window. Like, her turret's not the turret. She is the turret.
Well, even though she's able to take down 1, Oasis are able to find a little bit more now, and that is that. Trix gone, and so will Aya. We're back in it with a 9-7. Oasis Gaming somehow managed to make this retake work, and I think it's partially because of Anko with the Leers, the way that she's able to kind of maybe play a little bit more comfortably once the spike is down, right? It's kind of, yes, it's a retake scenario, but that's where she would shine. The Leers come into play. She's able to regain control over the B side, as it were.
Yeah, and well, Trix got 1. The rest of Oasis Gaming got everyone instead, and the Reina just clearing everyone there on the side. I mean, B, we say it's an easy retake, but typically, you kind of lose a few members, right? Usually not without casualties. It's not that easy, but she just cleared everyone out, and that Oasis Gaming is finally catching up here.
Well, GXR are changing up the pace just by a little bit. I mean, they are going into this with Sheriffs alone. Going in for it, just a face check in towards Garage. They're going to get punished by Stan. And of course, along with this, it's information. They know that there are players around mid, but what they don't necessarily know is Muffin coming in all the way from B itself. She pushes down mid, picks up 2, and she backs off. Now with the numbers advantage, of course, with the firepower as well, it's going to be an easy cleanup game for
Let
Anko.
them rot.
And we're back in it with a 9 and 8. Oasis Gaming starting to claw their way back to equalize the board.
Yeah, and with the economy right now for GXR though, hopefully they can get a round or two because they're having difficulties here. They had the buy round on the side of GXR on round they had a pistol round in the second round, and then they of course lose the bonus round, but in the buy round they couldn't really break Oasis Gaming's defense. So we're gonna see how they mix this up here because the executes they don't have the extreme strong Muffin. This is a 2% flank on C. It's gonna be really dangerous for them, and this is what GXR was doing, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's see. Ivory seems to be prepared for this. Does spot Muffin out, and that's the Blade Storm already deleted. Along with this, I think, are they gonna commit into the A site now? Anko is still there, and of course, you pick up one flanker, you're not gonna expect the second.
Yeah, and it seems like the bot hasn't detected Anko yet, so I think they might suspect that there's a flank, but would they know that there's a flank
Picked up the
there
turret.
this soon? And it's too far from the third range already. That's why
You
I
should run.
it wasn't really doing anything. It wasn't gonna detect Anko either way.
Commitment into the A site.
Target swarm grenade.
Well, timing is of the essence for Oasis Gaming. If they want to put a
Spike
stop to this
down
spike
A.
plant, they have to go in really soon. Of course, let's just wait for the lockdown to dissipate.
Out of the chat.
And Anko is making her way in, clearing out A long while the rest of her team are biding their time.
seconds
Lex
left.
leaving herself a little bit exposed over by the window, but gets shut down. And here we go. This is the start of it. Will the dominoes start to fall? Yes, they will. That's 2. She's looking for the third and fourth. Clears out the other half of the site. So this confirms that they are pretty much over by A short. There is a showstopper though, and she's holding on to it. Maybe a Luca. Oh, goes in for the swing. Wants to deny the defuse, but instead only picks up Stan, who made it a trade. So Anko, being the heroine, she is going to get the defuse, and here we are. It's 9-9 now.
Yeah, and I think that was well played by
What
Oasis
do you
there,
need?
Anko and Stan. I think what Baby Anko wanted to do was to get them to kind of peek together. You know, in a 2v1 situation,
Oh,
typically
yes.
kind of double peek. And she waited for that moment where she could possibly get two with the showstopper there. But they knew that showstopper was coming, so Anko was playing it safe. And Anko really the heroine for this
Amazing.
for this round. And I think that after she kills Mikasi, she doesn't tell her teammates, and Anko actually got 2 kills off of that. Ivory also was killed like looking into the site.
A little bit odd, but hey, they still win the round. It's going to be back in it with a 9 and 9.
she actually hit tricks.
Wow, legged, I think.
Yeah, it's
5
definitely
HP.
like
But okay, GXR has been Ivory, I think, placing that dark cover up by the mouth of C Long repeatedly now to either deny vision or something. But that's why Muffin updrafted to adapt to that one smoke. They keep smoking that area to maybe pull off a fake, but they don't commit to it. And here we go. Now they're going to go from B all the way into A, something that Oasis probably will not expect. Of course, with the Astra and the Killjoy down as well, they're going to be able to control this side very well.
looks like they're just going to roll in and take control of their site. And again, A site is really hard to retake here. So Oasis Gaming
Last player standing.
are just getting picked off left and right. They're getting a taste of their own medicine here with one flanker. Muffin is gonna have to play this 1v3 though, and going to A side with the Killjoy traps all set up as well. It's gonna be really difficult for Muffin.
Oh, they know where she is.
Yeah,
She's
those
pretty
traps
much
are buying
pinned
so
down.
much time.
Yeah, even if she gets the kill, she would not have enough time to defuse. So, of course, GXR, they're going to pick up this round, 10-9 now. But because Oasis Gaming has been winning that many rounds for the past 4 rounds now, actually, they're going to be able to buy back. And that's pretty comfortable, I think. If not, at the very least, they stand a better chance. But I want to see what GXR pulls out in this round. Will Ivory do the same smoke up towards C long? And do they actually use it this time to push up C?
Yeah, I wonder if it's just a distraction or to discourage them from pushing. but it looks like they are going to do the same smoke. But this time they look like they're actually going to use it.
Creeping up. Okay. Well, Anka would be the first one to contact them. So this is crucial. She does hear the alt orb being picked up by Trix. And here it is, the execute, the boom bot. They don't clear the corner! Anko picks up double! She uses the dismiss to roll away? Oh my god, she's still alive! And Baby Aluka thankfully will pick up a double to shut her down. Still though, Muffin with the classic. They're hunting down the last player, which is Makasi, and she cannot do anything because there are way too many angles to clear. Oh my god, the first of all. And Anko, MVP of the round. If she did not pick up the first 2 frags, I don't think Oasis would have won that round.
I think it was well played by them as well. I think there was a read there because Anko and Lax were both on C. And typically on C, you leave one player in playing the backside and one player kind of watching Garage. But that time around, they were both on the site. And Lax basically picked up the slack when Anko had to use dismiss.
Oh, yeah.
Was able to get the 3rd kill as well. So that team play really stopped GXR's push because that execute was going to go really well had they not been in committing 2 on site. Kind of hard to clear that corner on the left as well, especially with that smoke.
Coming back.
Kind of have to hard to clear that left and then watch in front, or
Placing
choose to
swamp
watch in front first and then hard to clear the
That's
left
right.
side. And typically,
Didn't clear it.
nobody really camps that corner like
That's true,
that
that's
often.
It's one of those things that's quite uncommon, but here we go. They have shares this time around and they want to get the spike down, so they will. Defender Killjoy lockdown has been deployed though, so they need to be a little bit cautious about this if they want to make Oasis Gaming hurt. Oh, Cosmic Divide actually being deployed right over by the entrance, so Defuse comes in, they might not be able to hear this, they have to be very, very cautious.
You should run.
You can kind of hear like the muffled sound, so they're going in for the peak, but
remaining.
Muffin and Lex are already on the other side, kind of making a crossfire. It's just the full firing squad from Oasis now, and they pick up the 11th win.
That was a Skira by Muffin. I think she shot a bullet and then took 2 of them because they both swung outside of the
Yeah.
divide. So that kind of divide is kind of dangerous because you don't know where they're going to come out
that's
from,
right.
right? So that one is a bit questionable, but they made it work. They had more firepower. They were watching. I think only the small entrance on B was where they could come from. So it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that wide. But at the same time, it could have played to their disadvantage, right? Like because you force that close range kind of like defense, and if they got lucky with a pistol, they could have gotten the kills instead.
So I think it was fine because Oasis were prepared for it. They had the 2 other players watching that one entrance where GXR could have come from. So right now we're back into it. It's 10-11 and GXR have a full buy. And this is the round that they really desperately need. If not, Oasis Gaming will be pushed in towards match point. And they risk getting sent into the lower bracket. So there is a little bit of chip damage already being done, I think, due to the paint shells. But sensing that there are players in over by Garage, Stan is going to commit her Hunter's Fury. And we're going to dodge and dance a little bit back and forth between those beams with the blast packs. They're anticipating a C split now. And they would be right. The rotates are coming forward very on time, on cue. Trix is able to pick up 1 though. Do they still commit into his side? I don't think so, but they're thinking about it. No, actually they're going to back off.
With the
There.
dart. They're going to back off with Baby Alaka is here to kind of like
Placing
still
sentry.
complete the lurk here. She might still
30
get 1 or
seconds
2 pickoffs here if they're not expecting it. The spike is
30
actually going to
seconds.
be...
They need to make a quick move. Oh, and Muffin would be the one to put a stop to this. She picks up 1, but Trix with the Vandal. It's a headshot and a half. We're back in it with the 3v2. Spike's still not yet down, though, and there's only 10 seconds left. In fact,
10
they're going
seconds
all the
left.
way onto A side, which is completely clear. This is
planted.
a pretty good job. And now they'd have no idea where the
player
other
standing.
remaining 2 players are. It's all up to Stan in this 1v3. Now they have a little bit more information to work with, but she's been revealed as well. And down to 26. This is a seemingly impossible task for Stan.
Yeah, and Ivory was exactly where Baby TZ was in that same corner, where she actually finds Baby TZ trying to sneak into the side.
Wow. Perfect.
So it is a close match, like 11-11. Are we gonna see overtime this time around, or is it gonna be another 11-13? It looks like the economy for Oasis, they still have enough for a full buy this round, with Lax having to buy 2 guns and buy Muffin the other gun. Both teams have pretty bad economy, so whoever wins this round, I think should have a way better match point. So 13-11 looks more likely, but again, I'm not gonna count anything out here. I've seen them win pistol rounds and eco rounds, so we'll have to see whether Oasis Gaming or Galaxy Racer will take this. This round will pretty much seal the deal. And Muffin
Spike down
actually
A.
Mikasi went for the double peek there. She peeked out, hid back, and then double peeked there, and Muffin got the timing. And it's looking good for Oasis Gaming. Again, there's a shock factor of the operator, right? You get that 1 kill, now it's a 5v4.
It's a 5v4, and they have to be very cautious about pushing into A now. They know that Muffin's there with the operator, so it looks like they're going to head towards the other 2 sites, which is, at the very least right now, B. It's one of the sites that has been somewhat successful for them, at the very least in terms of spike plants. But they need to watch out for these 2 far extremities, A and C link. It's not the easiest thing to watch out for. But here we go. Stan is able to put a couple of dinks through as well, but Lex not expecting the one from the garage. They're going to start to drop in. All that's left is Baby Aluka and Baby TZ cleans up. We're back in it. It's a flawless victory for Oasis. And it all started because of Muffin's operator.
And that Muffin kill onto Mikasi actually just really hurts GXR a lot, because you don't have your initiator, you don't have the recon to get into the site. And actually, it feels like Galaxy Racer have tried B multiple times, and that's not something common in Haven. B is more or less considered a dead site. It's sort of a desperation site sometimes, because you want to go to A or C, because you kind of like choose the extremity. It's harder for them to rotate, right? And they've taken B multiple times, but have lost it most of the time. Like, only except the pistol round, which is the only round that I remember Galaxy Racer successfully taking the B site. And now Oasis Gaming are poised to take the match point because they have the guns.
Well, they might have the guns, but do they have the kills? Aya is able to pick up 1, and along with this, Baby Aluka can sneak up. She finds Lex. We're in it with a 5v3 now, and the C side is very possibly open. We see the rotates coming over from Oasis, but will they be on time? Anko has to put a stop to 3 players, and she will not be able to do that. Baby TZ from the back of garage, though, able to find 1 more. We're back in it. It's a 2v4, but the lockdown is in place. Let's make it a 2v3. And Baby TZ, a little bit antsy, pushes in anyway, gets taken out. It's all up to Muffin in a 1v3. She has her knife, so this is not impossible. And picks up a Phantom. Let's see how she approaches this.
Gonna have to be a hero play if she wants to take this, but again, the biggest nemesis of the knives is the bot, and Aya takes a 4 kill. And now we're going to overtime. This first overtime we've had this weekend.
Overtime.
Very first. And both teams certainly showing that they are capable of claiming their spot in towards the grand final. I mean, I know it's a little bit early to say that, but this is an incredible matchup. I was not expecting it to be, I mean, close, sure, but this close?
Placing sentry.
This is incredible.
Yeah,
So,
and both teams are really like head-to-head, like with multiple members popping off for both sides.
yeah, I mean, if we could just take a look at the scoreboard again, I mean, it seems like, yeah, we have both top fraggers, actually all top 3 fraggers. It's 23, 21, and 19. Everyone's doing their job. And even if you're not at the top of the scoreboard, they're providing a lot of assistance just in terms of utility alone. I mean, you mentioned earlier on with Baby Aluka, but I think right now she is able to find a couple more frags. This time, though, it's going to be Muffin again, aggressively peeking, dashes away, but she's down to 11 points of health.
Both sides don't have any healer, no Sky, no Sage this time, so Muffin is gonna have to fight with 11 health. And I'd like a Vandal if I'm at 11 health, like maybe get a headshot kill. But the Phantom, if you really hit those double headshots or if you hit a headshot first, I think can still work. But they do detect Muffin, and she's gonna get sprayed down across that nebula by Trix. Baby Aluka takes Anko as well, and Oasis are the big disadvantage right now. It's a 5v3. The bots are here, so they're gonna know that they're going on A.
Well, at the very least, they might know this, but they won't be on time to stop the spike from going down. So it's going to get planted.
Calling my bot.
But still, Oasis, even with the spike down, they have to defend against 5 players from GXR. This is a mammoth task, and they have to be very cautious about how they position themselves. Lex, though, a bit of a lurk, is able to pick off one, separated from the pack. Now we're back in it with a 3v3. This is suddenly very doable, but Ivory, close-range Phantom, is able to find 2 heads. She is going to get the kills, and Lex all the way from a short. Not quite on time, but able to use the stun. Oh, and she goes in to take Ivory down. Oasis Gaming, Lex. Showing
Switching
that
sides.
this is how you play Astra.
Match point.
That is some amazing controller gameplay, by the way. Like, she was lurking behind B, takes one out, and then goes in with a stun for the clutch. She's at the bottom of the scoreboard here, but that was such a 200 IQ, like, heads-up play with the stun there. I think for Ivory, I'm not sure what she could have done there. Like, could she have... I think the stun stops you from diffusing. Is that correct?
It seems like it.
Yeah, I feel like it actually stops you from diffusing it. I don't know if she saw the stun coming in. Well, once that star was coming out, I would have, to me, like, maybe shot a step away, hide. But getting stunned is probably the worst thing for to happen there. But maybe she wanted to go for the overall defuse. If I'm not wrong, the Astra stun
Does it?
just stopped diffusing recently. Let me check that out.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. I'm not the one with the dual monitor, so you'll be right back at me with the information from the great old Google. But at least for now, we can see that she actually got off the spike once she got the defuse up to halfway. So maybe that's what she was going for. She wanted to get halfway and then get out of the stun. But no, she got stunned. She couldn't move. And of course, Lex was already rotating really, really quickly up a short, and she will pick up the kill. Right now, though, interesting usage of the Astra Stars from Lex. We have 2 in towards Garage.
Yeah, that's to support Anko, who's actually watching here, so she can go for the trade as well. So they have been playing together a lot. So, okay, the Astra change that was recent was the Gravity Well actually pulling someone who's planting the spike. Doesn't interrupt the plant, but the stuns, I think, all interrupt spike plants.
Right. Well, regardless, let's see if she can repeat that same magic and use the stars again this time around, though. Oasis Gaming playing a very, very safe defensive position kind of game. Galaxy Racer gonna have to be careful about this. They push in towards B site, they have to worry about the 1 star, but they also have to be cautious about where Muffin is, all the way at the back of Gong. And now she's going in to find a couple. It does get tagged out by the recon though. And now it's Stan trying to go in for the peek. She's gonna go play off of her contact, but instead gets taken out. And it's gonna be the shock dart that does quite a bit of damage, but not enough. And Aya and Ivory are able to find more entries. Spike carrier killed, but Aya is going hunting. They want to take, or at least push the Killjoy off away? And then they did not expect Anko to come in from the back, so they lose this round, and along with it, the game, unfortunately.
That was really close, and I think Galaxy Racer kind of like had an idea. They started breaking down towards the second half because Oasis were just getting frags left and right. I think Oasis movements kind of confused Galaxy Racer. So Oasis Gaming take our first game of the day and send GXR to the lower bracket.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused about what just happened in the last round. They got the entry onto the site, and then they started to chase down the Killjoy. The spike
I think
was
it might
down.
have been the pressure for the information because they already knew where the Killjoy was, so they wanted to dispatch her for real quick. But Baby TZ was smart and just ran away, baited enough for Anko to come in and get the kill. Maybe they didn't have enough information on where Anko was. I think they expected her to maybe come from C, and in that case, they wouldn't have the angle to actually get her. But because of Baby TZ just running away there, it kind of baited them to both looking away, and Aya just gets the 2 kills and secures the game for Oasis Gaming.
Well, there you have it. They secure the game, and it's going to be 14-12 at the end of that the very first overtime that we've had in this FSL Valorant Open 3 weekend, at least on the English stream. I'm not sure about the other streams. Maybe they've had some overtimes as well. But yeah, that will be that for their first game. And unfortunately, GXR, not out of the tournament yet, but they will be sent into the lower bracket where they have to play many more games if they want to stand a chance at clawing their way back in towards the grand finals. So there's going to be more games, but of course, this is all thankfully brought to you by Intel as well as Yahoo. It's not possible without our lovely sponsors. I mean, if you want to make these crazy plays and be able to even what Lax did with the stars, I mean, that is very fast. You have to be quick on your feet, and if you don't have a high frame rate, low latency gaming Intel 11th gen Intel core processor, I don't see how you'll be able to do that.
You need that for the clutch rounds, definitely, and especially for the flicks. You really need that speed, like to see the heads, and high refresh rate monitor combined with a great processor would really help a lot with this.
That's right. Well, that's going to be that for this game. We'll have more pretty soon. But if you want to check out the other streams as well, I mean, we've got other teams such as, of course, Alter Ego Celeste, but also Glitch Pop Cult, which is kind of the Singaporean SG stream dream team. They're playing on the Indonesian stream, I think. I'm not sure if their game is over yet, but I mean, they are playing against Alter Ego Celeste, so that's going to be one heck of a tough game. But maybe we'll, yeah.
I think it's over. So the next game will actually be we're going to watch the upper bracket semis. So we're going to watch Oasis Gaming again versus SXG this time around. So this is the bracket right now with Alter Ego Celeste 13-8 against Glitch Pop Cult. The scary one here is the Impaler 13-2 against Kid My Orc. Again, you mentioned Kid My Orc was 8th place in the rankings. And being able to 13-2, I mean, we mentioned earlier that the games were going to be close. And I think we watched the closest game in the tournament thus far.
Bracket.
Because and in the upper bracket, because it's the only overtime. And it's a 13-9, 13-8, 14-12, and then Impaler just 13-2. Again, yesterday we were watching their journey, right? Like we took a look at the brackets. All their games were 13-2 or 13-1.
Yes.
That's insane. And right now it's gonna be SXG versus Oasis Gaming, who from a quick eye test, I would say they're pretty close in terms of skill level. Like I would say they're pretty close in terms of skill level. The upper bracket, on the other hand, on the other side will be the Impaler versus Alter Ego Celeste. So whoever wins between SXG and Oasis Gaming is gonna be in for something.
Yeah, that's gonna be a very, very spicy game. But that's right. So that's what we have for the upper bracket. We're going to go with Oasis versus SXG after the break. So don't go away, guys. We'll be right back.